Hey everybody, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. This is again an update for February 11th for Nancy Guthrie's current missing situation. I do have Jonathan Lee Ritchie's investigates on the background that I'll be having going on. Will be going on. I just want to interrupt him while I'm sharing some new information that I received. Thanks you all for attending. I appreciate that, and I wanted to let you know that. There has been an addition, I think yesterday, and I added it to here. You can also, if not, want to call 1-800-CALL-FBI with any information regarding Nancy Guthrie's, anything related to Nancy Guthrie's abduction, or anything related to the area, or anything you might see where you're at. Although there's a 1-800-CALL-FBI and the numbers there with the digits, you can also provide it through a website, tips.fbi.gov. That's tips.fbi.gov. Excuse me. So I updated this so you can see it on the screen. It's also in my thumbnail of the stream, so you can see it that way. If you haven't heard of it, they're both ways to get information to the FBI, who will get it work in conjunction with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, who's taken the lead as of this last week and this week regarding Nancy's whereabouts and investigation. Now, before I share with the, we'll call JLR Investigates, I wanted to give you some interesting, hey, Antium, and everybody else. I wanted to let you know that there was some, Kris Jenner, who's a YouTuber, she provided me some really interesting information. Now, again, this is just like any other community. We're looking into it, trying to figure things out, right? So I want to give credit where credit's due. So Kris Jenner, who provided this to me, I'm going to add this to the stage. Here's a general picture that you see, and this is regarding the band, right? The former bandmate from the son-in-law, Tomasco, and the punk band Early Black. Now, the son-in-law is pictured in the middle, and bandmate pictured to the right, right? The right side of his face is cut off from the original photo. But the left side of the face, jaw, eyes, nose, and left ear match perfectly. That means that Kris Jenner took that photo and tried to do some sort of comparison. Now, I'll show you what she did, which is really quite interesting. And we've seen this done before. So we're assuming that the FBI or the Sheriff's Department in Tucson, where Nancy Guthrie's home is, and I should say north of Tucson in the Catalina Foothills. So the way Kris describes is that they're, and here when they zoom in the versions of the eyes, because the eyes are perfectly aligned, okay, with the scraped videos, if you will, that Google Nest they were able to retrieve. I will show you what she put together video-wise too, so you'll see motion and compare for yourself and think about it. And think about how no one can have perfectly symmetrical eyes. Keep that in mind. This man matches, in her opinion, perfectly with both sides of the image. This is key information. Before I share any additional regarding Kris's findings, TMZ did report, a lot of outlets reported last night that someone was taken into custody but was released, and you may have saw a video about that too. Also today, there were postings on CNN regarding FBI searching roads near Nancy Guthrie's home as man detained in case says he wants to clear his name. That was updated about 5:54 p.m. Wednesday, February 11th, Eastern. So we have to go back 2 hours. That was about 4 p.m. today. Arizona law enforcement officials say they've received more than 4,000 calls in the past 24 hours regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And you can understand that because the videos, the photos were released yesterday. So it may have caused a lot of people to rethink or think back, right? And see what they can, what they have to offer, hence the phone calls. Obviously, those phone calls have to be answered, questions, or multiple questions have to be asked, anonymous and or who they are, location, that kind of thing. So that's a lot of work, trust me. So if you've ever worked in a call center, you know what I'm talking about. The calls come after the FBI released the doorbell camera footage, of course. Yesterday from Guthrie's front door taken this morning, the morning she disappeared. The detained person does speak out. A man who said he was detained yesterday for questioning and later released says he wants to clear his name. A search warrant connected to a man's property is sealed. So we don't know the detail of that, but for some reason they made a connection. The new letter from TSZ reported it received a bizarre letter via email just this morning from someone perpetrating to know Guthrie's kidnapper is, who that kidnapper is, and demanding a single Bitcoin in exchange for the information. The email was handed over to the FBI, the media outlet said. You can also contact through CNN to ask questions or submit questions. They'll be available, as you know, online and on their media channel. Another one I want to mention is the New York Post. Investigators found black glove near Nancy Guthrie's home. And that's something that JLR is talking about also in the stream. It hadn't been seen before, so there's some concern about was it dropped there late in the evening, last couple evenings, whatever, to either throw the law enforcement off or it was someone might be joking around. We don't know, right? I don't want to make any speculations, as I've said before. So this is JLR, Jonathan Lee Ritchie's, and he runs his channel, Jonathan Lee Ritchie's Investigate. I have the link also in my description, so you can get there. And he's live streaming pretty much 12 hours per day since last week. So I wanted to just show you what he looked like and give him credit where credit's due. He had offered folks to go ahead and use his live stream, and it does help keep the foot traffic down in the area, which has been a concern with the neighbors. Also the utility companies, such as the fire department, right? There's some questions from the neighbors regarding what if a fire occurs, we need to get fire department in here. You've already got a lot of reporters, vehicles, people that are onlookers, things along those lines. So trying to keep the area clear makes good sense to me now to say, well, I'll report from here to support him because he's on site live, right? And plus the way my days are this week, I'm not able to get there myself. So I just wanted to share that with you also. Just trying to look at what I have available. Let's see here. That's me. Okay. So this is one of the videos that Chris Jenner put together. And I just want you to keep in mind, we're looking at the gentleman to the right from the punk band that was, but no longer are. Okay. So watch this. If I stop hitting the button, you can see that Chris took the nest photo that was captured with the ski mask and overlaid it with the band member's face. And she did this, as I stated earlier, that she explained, nobody is perfectly symmetrical per se. So when you look at that, how that figures. Now, again, we are making speculation. We're doing our efforts to provide good information. Don't get me wrong. We're not committing anything, committing this person to claim that he's involved at all. But we wanted to share this information. So kudos to Chris Jenner for putting forth the effort. With that said, let me share with you the next one. No. There you go. So remember the photo that was released with the flashlight in the mouth. Once again, if you do the overlay, there's using the grid lines that she applied, there's a lot of similarity there. Again, not details, not nose size, things along those lines. But she did a really good job of matching at least people that we've seen that may be involved, or at least we know of regarding Nancy Guthrie's life, right? And family members, friends involved. So I wanted to share these with you, which of course we have two more. That one, yes. Quick ones. So here's the overlay of just the eyes, right? Again, this is not solidifying any proof of any means, but it's well worth looking at. And excuse me, Chris Jenner is aware of the call FBI phone number as well as the tip.fbi.gov. So if she submits this, they may follow up with her directly. They may have already seen this from other folks, but we wanted to make sure Chris gave me the permission to use her name and the images that she created. So we wanted to make sure that we shared that. Here's the last video that she pulled together. And you can see how she tried to take it off center and then overlay and then move it around. And as you can see, when you line them up, it makes you stop and think, right? It really does make you stop and think. But again, we're not putting throwing anybody under the bus. She just made a comparison, did a couple of overlays, and as you can see, there's some good information there. Whether it's useful or not to the FBI or the Pima County Sheriff's Department, we don't know, but I think that it's well worth sharing that information so they can take a look at it or do it in their own realm. If they haven't already, we don't know, right? They may have already done that. They work even days and nights, I'm sure, over the last 10, 11 days now. Again, here's a quick glance at the Catalina Foothills area north of Tucson. It's a large area, very mountainous, with a lot of brush. You've got animals in the area, as we saw in JLR's stream yesterday. They have javelinas and a coyote, so you have wildlife out there here and there. Also, you know, it's a rough terrain, so keep that in mind. And if she's still in the area for whatever the reason that the abductor or abductors, plural, or have her still in the area, they're still searching the Guthrie home. They're still checking out the family members. They're still checking the area. So let me pop this over. I want to see if there's anything else. I do want to give the credit for FBI Nancy Guthrie wanted poster. The link is in my description. ChatGPT, which helped me form some of the words to make sure I was grasping, sharing information in a proper format. I just can't speak. I also reach out to Amazon Alexa for some details. Pretty useful stuff there, just so you know. Also, there's a link, there's Google Maps, as you can see on the screen. And also we had Jonathan Lee Ritchie's Investigates link in there from YouTube channel and CNN regarding the topics I shared with you moments ago, okay? So now we're gonna go back to, and again, keep an eye on Nancy. You may or may not recognize her. Remember, she's an 84-year-old woman who lives alone. She originally was in the Catalina Foothills area up until February 1st. Who's to say that she's not out and about with friends, family, friends or others, right? On a local outing, who knows, right? We can't put anything past what's going on because we don't know yet. So let me pull up JLR's live stream so you can see that. And we'll pipe in as we go. There we go.
Can you slide this with me?
Kind of quiet for a moment. So I'm going to scroll through the comments, see if there's anything that I'd like to share with everybody else. Hey, Widget. Thanks, Ree. I appreciate that. Hey, Angela. Teresa added this insight information. The glove, the black glove that was located, was found 1.5 miles away. Seems like a stretch that's associated. Good point. But it's one more item that they can analyze at the crime lab to see if there's any DNA or evidentiary information tied to it that they may be able to utilize. Joan Clean, hi. Mobility or pacemaker, the ROI, and that is why the trail has gone cold, which makes sense. And it's difficult that they aren't able to utilize a pacemaker electronic to your phone, that they can't track that somehow, some way from the vendor.
Yeah, right here.
I'm just throwing it out there, right? It's kind of like that key fob thing through Apple that you can attach to your items and track where your items are at.
Sounds good.
Yes, Mimi, I do believe the family is beside themselves. I know how I would feel in this situation. I would assume I would know how I would feel in this situation, and definitely I would be.
We're gonna hear what the media has to say, the latest news report.
Yes, Teresa. Kudos to Chris Jenner. Very nice job. It is quite interesting because I didn't take anybody to even think of doing that. I didn't take anybody else to do that. But when you compare it, looking at it the way she did and did the overlay, I don't see Tommaso fitting that ski mask. Again, not to exclude him, just coming up with our own information and what we're using based on what's provided to the public, right? You can see there's a plethora of folks with cameras, whether they be mainstream reporters, YouTube content creators, or just in general, people who want to be there and support the return of Nancy Guthrie. This is about the time of day when the news reporters do report to the news, to their various channels. So you can see how they're all lined up. And that, again, is one of the concerns for the neighborhood. Just recently, a lady's talked to one of the law enforcement regarding what if a fire truck hit by for their home.
Guthrie's home.
So she's right off the road, street. Really close.
Crazy, isn't it?
So it's not a gated community. It's not a gated community. It's not like she's far into the woods or anything like that. So that's quite amazing to me too. I personally would like a very tall gated fence all the way around me, but she may not have ever thought that would be necessary.
Flowers? You want to see the flowers?
Yeah, earlier also, just a little while ago, a couple young ladies put more additional flowers in front of Nancy Guthrie's home. So you can see the buildup right there. It's now becoming dusk time here in Tucson. Sorry, I'm in Phoenix, but they're in Tucson, Arizona. They're starting to build up there. And I know from my past experience, yellow roses indicates friendship. But what I heard them describe as yellow as a sign of hope, which JLR might say also, or Jonathan, I should say.
Pretty nice. Flowers.
Very sweet. Dear Guthrie family, your neighbors stand beside you. That's a very, very beautiful display.
Well, a lot of people are going to do their 5 p.m. reports. We're getting ready to do their 5 p.m. report. Yep.
Oh, really? Yeah, everybody's here.
Hey, Ree, yeah, how tall is he? The brickwork should give a scale to size. Yeah, I totally agree. And that did come up on another channel I was watching last night. It's very easily done with the right professionals comparing. Now, I do recall that I'm just going to refer to the person of interest, I guess. I like to say abductor, kidnapper, but again, we don't have validity on that. It'd be a totally different topic, but situation. But I truly believe in my heart that this person that we saw on the Nest Cam has been involved in her abduction. But as far as the scaling, that's just an architectural thing, right? You get an architect who definitely determine the height and size. Now, it was brought up in yesterday's stream that they actually could be wearing layers. So it might not be in the photo the size of an actual person that we see or perceive. So keep that in mind. That's an interesting topic because some folks have said, what if it's a woman? And I'm looking at the photo and I'm thinking, it doesn't look like a woman, just from my perspective. But then it was explained that you could be putting on layers, right? There could be 2 ski masks. There could be definitely layers underneath the coat and the pants. Also the thing in the back called a backpack. The backpack. That should stand out to any camera angle from any of the businesses. So I'm sure they're looking into all of this, but they just can't release it to the public yet, right? Because they have to figure out where they're going and and gather enough evidence to be able to bring somebody in, if you will, either for questioning or actually to be accused. So Andy Cap says he's like 5'9". Okay. And I don't know, Andy, if you deduced that, found it somewhere else, or if that's your guesstimate. I apologize, but just want to make sure everybody's aware where that information came from. So if you can also keep scrolling.
Today, investigators were back out in her neighborhood trying to chase down some of those leads.
Yeah, well, as FBI agents have been out here in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood doing searches, we have seen neighbors of Nancy Guthrie coming, eating flowers outside her home. Day 11 of this search. Take a look. Our cameras catching footage of those FBI agents walking through two areas in this neighborhood. The FBI says
I agree, Beverly. Prayers to the family and for Nancy.
new information on that man who was detained in Rio Rico, Arizona on Tuesday and later released.
And Teresa, that's a fair statement. I keep wondering if they have a prime suspect, but are gathering evidence on the others involved. And that's a valid point. Everything takes time. There's procedures to follow. There's a chain of custody of evidence, which we all most likely have heard of if you're a true crime fan, right? You know that things cannot be handled inappropriately because that could cause an issue in trial or court, right? So also, if they do have a prime suspect, right, they need to keep tabs on that person. And if there are other people involved, they need to figure out who they are and keep tabs on them while building the case, gathering evidence. Even if you have to go to Nancy's home 3 or 4 or 5 times, you never know what you might find that 3rd, 4th, 5th time, right? Even I gave an example the other day about when I misplaced my keys. I'm like, I can't for the life of me remember where they are. And then I just stop, think, do a little prayer, and happen to go to the kitchen near the back door, and there they are on the counter. Totally blanked out, right? So when you're searching for evidence, you might find something new. I do not know this lady reporting, locally anyway. So that's why I'm talking over her.
It's been 11 days since they reached out to the FBI from her Tucson home, but people who are trying to help investigators find Nancy haven't stopped calling in tips.
Teresa, just so you know, those are the original ones that came out, the black and white photos. So I didn't use the AI generated color ones, which I was told yesterday. So I did not post those in my stream, just so you know. But those are what the doorbell ring cam put out, unless they have colorized versions that they haven't released to the public.
There's a $50,000 reward being offered to anyone who helps bring Nancy home, or to anyone who helps provide information that leads to an arrest in this case. You're asked to contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. In Tucson, Gabrielle Becerra, 12 News.
I got 857 Tucson coming back, and he's gonna kind of fill me in on this FBI search stuff, exactly like where they did the searching. And he's gonna fill me in on that.
It was also interesting yesterday, I believe, that there was a post from the Pima County Sheriff's Department, I think in Instagram. Someone had ordered pizzas to send for all the folks there, right? Which is a very nice gesture. But they used Nancy's address to have it delivered. So the delivery person actually went to the house, knocked on the door. Now that's a crime scene, right? So it shouldn't have been allowed.
I mean, I was walking along.
It happened,
and I saw
but they posted it
bunch of
online to
cigarettes,
say,
but
please do not do that
we got two
anymore
sheriffs
because
here
it is
now.
an active crime scene.
maybe when
It was a nice
When we got a
gesture.
lunch
I
break,
believe also JLR received donuts
dinner break,
in the morning.
now he's been replaced. Now we got 2 on the property. 2 sheriffs on the property now.
You know, when you canvass, it's hard to cover every inch of everywhere, right? When you're walking through as a group, there's space between you. You may see a shadow on something that covers something else. The light change from the sun going overhead, right? So that's why I agree with returning to the scene and recanvassing the area and the perimeter to actually look at the ground close as possible, right? Even look how the cactuses are. Can you picture hiding potentially a pistol in one of the cactuses? You might not see it, and you probably won't reach in there because you'll get scratched
deputies
up.
now here.
Just throwing that out there, right?
No,
Something
just
I've learned in
chatting.
Arizona.
You got 2 now.
Yeah, more often than not, you start with your closest circle of influence, Teresa. So, and statistically speaking, family members are in the orbit. I hear you. Was the foul were the ransom demands legitimate? I have not heard anything. I know there was one ransom demand requesting 1 Bitcoin to be in the account. I believe that was from today, and TMZ reported on it. And that was TMZ receiving a specific note, but again, has not been verified that I'm aware of as of this moment. It could have been if someone wants to update me on there. Hey, Chris, how you doing? I gave you big kudos and shared your vids, just so you know. I'm going to do it again because I really like what you pulled together, and I want everybody to be cognizant of just the percept of what you can see when you do a comparison, right? So she took the mask, the ski mask photo, and overlaid the ex-band member of Tomasco, Cione, and you can see by the grid lines, it's a really good matchup. Again, this is just us, people in general, the public, right? We are not professionals, and Chris is a professional. I don't know, but I want to make sure I shared what she pulled together, and I didn't thought about doing overlays with faces. So I think that's very beneficial to hopefully the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And Chris may be sharing that out using either the 1-800 number or the website, or sorry, the .gov site. Thank you, Chris. Really, I really appreciate you sharing that with me and letting me share it with the public. The eyes really say a lot, Yvonne, right? I agree with you. Thank you so much for that comment. Yeah, Husafal? Sorry. You're surprised that they don't have a vehicle on video related to the crime? They did discuss something earlier in the week or late last week about a vehicle being of interest. Again, if they do know more about it, they're probably doing more digging to find, like, I like to use the term scrubbing the video. So you can clearly see the video, see a license plate, things along those lines. So keeping that in mind, they may have a video, a vehicle that they're interested in. They just need to scrub the video, and then they have to follow along with video cams that what direction it was going, maybe be able to see how many people were in the vehicle, things along those lines, right? And if something actually drove by your home, then you saw how far back some of the neighbors' homes are with the large trees and the curved driveways. So you may not get a clear shot from a security camera, which tells me I want to post something more elaborate on closer to the street, which has a 180-degree video capture. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying that would be very beneficial, because in that kind of a neighborhood, in that situation, any neighbor or anyone could fall prey to an abductor or kidnapper, right? Thanks, Usfa. I appreciate that. Chris added, oh, this guy's name is either Dominic or Walter. Not sure which one. Again, until I confirm, I don't want to say yea or nay. I appreciate the input or the additional information, Chris. Hopefully, again, not a big channel, but hopefully someone sees this and shares it out. I believe yesterday we had a lady who said she was involved with the case. which is great to know that she was watching. She was not able to share a lot of information, which I completely understand, but at least there are folks in the department, whether it be FBI or the sheriff's department, that are reaching out on the social media platforms that are also providing information, right? We have a good voice just like any other mainstream media. So I think it's important that we have JLR on site live streaming, capturing what he captures, sharing what he finds, and from my perspective, the narrator, right? I'm the one providing content, sharing information that I'm finding online, and just keeping things moving along. Because if you just stare at the video for 12 hours, there's not much happening. And then spurts of things happening. So that's why I like to do the talking, because it really does help fill in the gaps, if you will. And as you recall last night, there was a big run to Annie Guthrie's house, which was about 4 miles away, which there was some discussion on 12 AZ News last night with Sean Rice. He reported from, he couldn't tell us who the individual was at the time, but he did make comment that the possibility existed that it was a ruse to get all the media people and folks over to that's house so they could do what they wanted to do at a different house like Nancy's. Something to think about, right? Teresa wrote, I got about 20 feet into the desert on a night vision tour. Left my group for a moment and ouch, my legs were torn up and lessons learned. Yeah, it doesn't take much, right? And we're now coming into spring and summer. So it's going to be lighter, many more hours per day, okay? And we have clear skies out here most of the time during the summer. So you'll have a clear sky, and you'll have that bright moonlight reflecting down. I mean, elaborate sized moon. I don't know if we're a magnet or what. And then you have all the stars, right? But you always want to be prepared if you're going into the desert. As a side note, water, stay hydrated, most important thing. Coverage for the cold, right? You don't realize how cold it can get in the desert at night. Food, some sort of electronic device to reach out for help. Phone, crank style radio, right? Solar radio, battery phone, whatever you need. But just be aware, you have to be prepared for anything, especially in the desert. Laura Simone, she adds, she lives so close to those mountains. Haven't the cops or investigators look, or helicopters? They've actually had drones fly over a lot since February 1st. And with a drone, you can actually bring it down closer to the ground versus a helicopter, right?
But
so they've been doing that a lot. Now, I don't know if they identified anything or how far they covered. As you saw on the map, it's quite a bit of an area there. But they have been using drones to capture. So that's quite useful because, again, the drones can scoop down closer to the ground and see if they spot something. Again, we don't know if they have, but I hope they have, and they're analyzing the data they collected. And I don't mean to talk over Jonathan, but I don't know when he's going to say something. Teresa, it's the person who did the overlays as part of the other justice group, Rob and others cover. She is very talented. Yes, Chris is very talented. Thank you, Teresa, for that.
JM, thank you.
Yvonne added they did have a few helicopters in the air, and that makes sense. Let's utilize all the tools available to us, right? From the FBI, law enforcement.
Now it's kind of like,
I do believe I heard you today or yesterday. It reached also President Trump's office. Some of the staffers, right, discussing this. So it's not like a small story here in little old Tucson, Arizona, right? This is this is getting worldwide coverage or acknowledgement, if you will.
I'm gonna keep it here for a bit, change the scene up. You can just see who's coming and going.
Excuse me. And what you see in the background there is really a lot here in Arizona. You have those views driving on the highway, on background, streets, dirt roads. The mountainous views are just beautiful. The greenery, not just cactuses that you might imagine. There are tumbleweeds. There are real tumbleweeds sometimes in some areas. The Southall, how soon after the kidnapping were the police on scene? What time was it? Okay. So anywhere around 1, 2 a.m. So early morning hours on February 1st, where she was last seen closing her garage door. That was the last time they saw her in her home, her family, because they were out to dinner as a family dinner on the 31st. On the 1st, she didn't go to church during the morning hours. So they were concerned. Once the concern reached the family members, they contacted the law enforcement around noon. I don't know the exact minutes, but it was around noon on February 1st. Within an hour and a half, if I remember correctly, law enforcement arrived at the house. They got involved. They looked into this deeper, and they came to the conclusion within that hour and a half that this was not just a simple someone who's not out for a walk, let's say, that it was actually something, a criminal investigation in the crime scene. And that's deduced by the blood that they found on the porch, which they stated publicly that it matched the DNA of Nancy Guthrie. So that was February 1st. They were made aware around the noon time frame. I hope that helps. Yeah, I know that the platform I use offers a vertical and a landscaped view for the stream, so they create two. I was told earlier that there's a way to merge the comments, but I just didn't have time to look into it. It's not relatively easy looking at my screen. What's option?
Yep, right here. Sorry.
So I do apologize for that, but I think StreamYard has learned a lot too about, hey, this is not good for the viewers. We need to look into this. And believe me, we make comments to the platform so that they are aware of the concerns. You're welcome, Yusufal. Appreciate you saying that. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that, and prayers right back at you, and especially for the Guthrie family and Nancy herself.
More flowers.
Free. No comment.
More yellow flowers, neighbors.
It is beautiful that they're putting flowers out in front of Nancy's house. But you can see this has been going on since February 1st. And we don't have a resolution or much more detail into a person of interest or a group of interest that we're aware of publicly. You can see how folks are now coming into town, hanging out in the streets, just being there. The concern I have with that is the respect for the crime scene and the family, right? I don't want people to go traipsing into the property. Not to say they will, but when you have so many people there, you interact socially, you become camaraderie, and now it takes away from the true meaning, the true reason of being there. And I respect everyone for going, either leaving flowers, saying a prayer, or just stopping through. Excuse me, especially the neighbors that are just doing their daily walks, right? They totally have that right. I don't know, Sholo. Not sure if that is an option, but it is something once again to look at, because you also have the concave grounds, right? You have the sewers, the manholes, those kind of things.
Blue painting, thank you.
And some elaborate small mountains with crevices and things, right? So there's a lot of places to look and search. And I agree with you, Chris. Arizona is a beautiful state, and I want to go back. Well, you are welcome to come back in next week or even in July if you'd like. Those are 2 good months. Laugh out loud bird. Oh Lord, now they're putting flowers out. Yeah, it's been going on. They've been getting more and more flowers set in front of her home over the last couple days. Hey Claire, how you doing? This is a Nancy Guthrie case where we now perceive her as being abducted or kidnapped as of February 1st from her home in the Catalina Foothills, just north of Tucson, Arizona. So that was occurred on February 1st. Police started the investigation, treating it like
Go
a
back
crime
over here.
scene. You see on the screen a lot of news reporters that have been there, and they've been growing
They're
numbers.
placing flowers here.
We have Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates, a YouTuber that has been filming live 12-hour days for the last week or so. And you get tidbits of information throughout the day, right? You also have the FBI supporting the local law enforcement, the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And there's been a lot of canvassing in the area, a lot of perimeter searches, walk-arounds,
Hi, Brian.
K9 units, things along those lines. So that's hopefully will let you know. And not to take away from Nancy whatsoever, one of the reasons might be because she's the mother of Savannah Guthrie, the co-host on the Today Show. And we've seen a couple of family videos that were submitted to the public, reaching out to the kidnappers. And hopefully they could get a safe return for Nancy. And that's what our prayers are all about. I didn't see that laugh out loud, but that's just wrong. And I would expect JLR to.
This was the woman that said she knew Tommaso. Hold on. Remember the woman that was saying the school was rallying behind him? She was the one that was talking on the side. She
Training on another.
said the school was rallying.
Not that I'm aware of, but let me
What do you think?
close out everything.
She was talking about Tommaso. No way. He could have done this. No way. No one at the school thinks he's done it. What do you think?
The only way I can think of is the vertical and the landscape views within this stream. Especially beautiful Arizona, Yvonne. We have to pick up after people like that, whether they be tourists, locals, or just rude people, right? But some people just have no manners anymore, and it's a sad state of affairs because what we're doing is keeping the world safe for our children the best we can within our world of circle of influence, correct? Teresa added, I think that they were searching the sides of the roads today in ditches. No one would go into that type of desert terrain at night, even with a full moon, without headlamps and flashlights, which if you recall from the Nest camera, there were 2 lights on the shoulders, right? So this person was prepared to do what they planned to do, kidnapping or otherwise. But the strange part, which teed off the police when they went to check her home, her phone was there, her wallet was there, and the vehicle was still there. So those were indicators right off the bat, as well as the blood that they found that had been analyzed to realize it was the same DNA as Nancy. So then they treated it like a crime scene. This was no longer just someone who maybe took a walk for the afternoon. You never know. Oh, Yvonne, it's Nancy Guthrie, who's the mother of Savannah Guthrie, who's a co-host on the Today Show. She's a very sweet woman. Let me pop this up here for you so you can see her. This is on the left is the missing persons report from the FBI poster that's available online. And I have the link in my description. And Nancy Guthrie is an 84-year-old woman. She does deal with health issues. And with that said, sorry.
I heard you saying they're all like supporting him and everyone's.
Yeah, they think he's a really good guy. Yeah.
Is he there now?
You know, I don't know.
Like, was he put on?
So this person seems to be sharing information with Jonathan.
Find out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha, Yvonne.
JLR.
JLR.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hey, so I'm here with these reporters. One of the news reporters of JLR is asking me if Tommaso is still teaching at basis or did he take some time off? No, you're not being coded. No one's giving your name. No one's giving your name. Okay, she's not sure.
Not sure.
She's not sure if he's. Yeah, she said she's not sure if he's.
But
taking
everyone
time
there
off or if
supporting
he's
him?
Still there? Yeah, she's not sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is she a teacher there?
No, she has. My friend.
My
not
only
gonna
guess
say her name,
is
she
that
has kids.
until we have a resolution to her
I heard you saying
abduction,
everyone there is like
folks are going to be
Yeah.
there.
Everyone says he's
Local
going on.
news,
Yeah.
as well as maybe an increased
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone-
countrywide
everyone-
news
so the
reporters.
parents are supporting him. They all
Parents,
said he's
all the
like-
parents are
Yeah.
supporting him.
Yeah, they all said he's amazing.
What's he teach there?
What subject?
Yeah, what subject? Like, was it biology or something?
Yeah, he's just one of the teachers. My friend, who I'm not giving her name,
Yeah.
she's a woman that lives here. I'm not going to say her profession or anything about my friend, but she just said he's a teacher at basis. That's all I knew.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so
What do you think? She calls up somebody there at the school. I was, you know, when I'm back into my mind, so she says, a reporter here named JLR. She'd probably be like, don't talk to him. Don't say anything. To that guy. Don't say anything.
That's true, Yvonne.
All right, now I'm just viewing that.
oh, okay.
No, you're good.
Nothing. Okay. I'm sorry.
You can see the sun's going down. It's becoming dusk there in Tucson. I think we broke another 80 degrees again today, so it's rather warm out. In my area, it's overcast because we are now getting the weather coming from California. So over the next couple of days, I'm assuming we may see some rain. So I'm hoping that doesn't occur in Tucson, in this Catalina Foothills area, to not prevent the law enforcement from continuing the investigation. And again, I'm letting Jonathan his live stream show. And if I can add anything or he finds something new comes up, we're ready to hear it.
We just found out about her love. They told me, but they told me. Right, did you hear that too? That they found the phone? Yeah. Yeah, so many neighbors are out. It's crazy. So many neighbors on the street for dogs. Hey, you got neighbors too? No. Do you live in the neighborhood? Honest girl. I'll talk to you in a second. No problem. No problem. You like what? I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I'll talk to you later. You're breaking up. I'm sorry. Oh, you kidding? What channel news? 6 o'clock is off. 6 o'clock. Right now. Let's see what's happening. Not that one. Wait, really?
Yeah, it is quite interesting about the Bitcoin aspect, right? From my perspective, it just implies someone definitely younger than I am, but understands a little bit more about how Bitcoin works and assumes that it can't be tracked in any way, shape, or form. Well, yeah, I heard earlier also that TMZ received a ransom and something about putting in 1 Bitcoin in the account, which I believe occurred. But like you said, I don't have any more information on that without researching, and I don't want to do it while I'm live. Yeah, Bitcoin's its own little world, Yvonne, just so you know.
Front of Nancy Guthrie's home here in Tucson, Arizona. This is where she disappeared from 11 days ago, but 5 minutes down.
Hi, Peking. Pekings.
Police say that it could be a very important discovery. A black glove was found on the side.
Hey, Steve Toboy. Steve Tiobe. This is regarding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance in the Catalina Foothills in Tucson, Arizona.
And now investigators are trying to
what they have our reporters and media and content creators there on site in front of Nancy's home, which is across the street there, and law enforcement, including FBI support, trying to determine who the abductor is and or if they had accomplices. And they're searching for evidence. They're reviewing evidence they've collected and continuing to scan the area and canvass the area for additional information. And today would be, if it's February 1st, today's the 10th day, almost the 11th day that she's disappeared. Yeah, I recall that too, about $300 of Bitcoin.
Neighbor?
Don't do another one. Could you include that comment that she lives in the neighborhood? She's
A neighbor.
I'm a neighbor. Don't put another tweet out there. Just say, can you put the comments? And she is a neighbor. That's why I'm here. Did you see the comments that you got?
No. A neighbor. You're a neighbor?
Yeah, I live in the neighborhood.
Oh, you live in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I live here.
I thought you said you were
As the sun sets here, the hope is
I'm
still
not for the
strong.
basis. A friend of mine, her son is taught by Tommaso. A friend of mine. I don't go to that school. My kids don't go to that school. A friend of mine. But I live in this neighborhood.
No problem. Sorry about that.
So could you include that comment, sir?
Yeah.
Can you include that?
Sure.
The lady speaking is a neighbor.
Lady speaking in a neighbor.
Yeah, the woman that's in the picture is a neighbor.
I'd be concerned if I didn't want something to not stand in front of someone's live stream camera. So that's a concern I would have when you're in a public area. You do have the right to be filmed. So be very concerned, be
Just
cognizant
got
of
a
where
care
you're at.
package, folks.
And I live in the neighborhood.
You know the Romans by any chance? My friend Amy's parents. They're Romans. They're from
He seems very friendly. I don't know if he's looking for information or just a friendly person
Nate.
from the neighborhood.
Okay, it's a neighbor of
I
Nancy.
heard about the emails. I'm not on the street, but I'm in the neighborhood here. So there's an email going around about little flowers.
Dude, she's literally watching herself on. I said, this woman says she knows Tommaso Ciani from the basic school and says the school is rallying behind him. And that's what she said, right? While she was talking while I was live. So she saw herself on Twitter. She goes, make sure you say I'm a neighbor. It's like she's monitoring everything. Like people are saying about it on Twitter. What do you think?
There are quite interesting people in the world.
That's exactly what she said, right? Hey, I added it. Woman says she is a neighbor of Nancy Guthrie. Good? You good? All right. Anything else you want me to add? You're good. Okay. You saw yourself on Twitter?
Yeah.
Not you're monitoring Twitter?
I was talking to a friend of mine and she saw it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's comments there.
Yeah.
People like, what is she doing? I live in the neighborhood. There's so many neighbors walking up and down the street with their dogs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. Thank you.
CCTV doorbell footage that has been circulated by
Oh my God, I saw you on. I got another care package, folks.
And we've also seen police activity today at the home of Annie
Got another care package.
She and her husband Tommaso and last dinner together. There's no indication that they're
Nice.
Jacques, just so you know, this is regarding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance
Thank
in
you.
the
I don't even know where that came
Foothills
from.
in Tucson,
Provided.
Arizona, just north of Tucson. It occurred on February 1st. She's still missing. We have the Pima County Sheriff's Department with the support of the FBI looking to locate her, and they're still investigating, gathering evidence day by day. I hope that's a summary that you were looking for.
Then after a spate of hours, he was released without charge and is now speaking out. certainly a blow for this investigation and a very disappointing one out.
Think she really knew Tommaso?
Sets here in Tucson, Arizona.
Or just said she did, and then she like, well, now make sure they say I'm a neighbor. Like maybe instead just heard of them. You know what I mean? What I do is every time we speak to somebody here or some particular something, and I thought that was interesting because we want to get more information on top of Tommaso, I post tweets up on my Twitter account at JLR Investigates. So if I see something here, like something new or anything like that, I tweet it out also. So
Personal opinion, tweeting sounds much more feasible than I'm Xing somebody. It just has a negative connotation. Thanks,
she didn't
Chris.
say on.
I tried to look into it. I
neighbor.
just
She on
don't
the
think I
line?
can do it
I didn't
live,
hear her say neighbor.
but I tried to
I
search
didn't
on how to
Google
change it, so I apologize. But I am only seeing one stream of comments. If I put them on the screen, we might see
I didn't
two.
hear anything about
Hey,
neighbor.
how are you?
How are you?
Good.
How you doing? I'm good. Oh, hi, Helen.
I'll see you later.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
All right, so it is starting to get dark out of here. Sun's going down soon. We'll see if anything pops off. I'll show you all how dark it is, like we always do. See what's going on. Maybe we'll take a drive over to Tommaso's before we end the stream. I want Nancy found.
Did you call in yet?
Prayers are out there, Jonathan.
So hopefully I can get a little bit of rest tonight. Little additional rest tonight. I only got much sleep last night, so I can get a little bit of additional rest, and then we're bright back out here first light.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna be out here every day for the foreseeable future until something breaks. I'm gonna be out here. I'm not going anywhere. I already extended into next week.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry, sir.
Yes, sir. How are you? Nice to see you.
Let me know when
Okay, I'm just looking for this. I don't want to like mess it up.
Univision. The Univision people like me. I've been talking to Univision people off camera a lot.
Thanks, Yvonne. That's a very nice comment for Jonathan. Hopefully he watches some of this.
We were
You
talking
can
about
always
border
go
stuff.
to his
Univision
channel,
used
which
to
I'll
do the
post
border.
the
We were
link in
sharing
the
border
comments.
stories. Coverage of the border.
Are you guys having sex tonight?
Yeah, maybe we should just rent an RV and get an RV and an RV out here. No, I'm good. I got a hotel and it's not far. You know, I just think it's important to be here like each and every day until this case gets resolved. I mean, as long as the media is out here like this, I'm going to be out here like this doing the same thing. This is kind of just a staging ground. So like we did today, we're planning here, went over to Tommaso's a little bit, went and checked FBI agents out, searching around. We're just waiting for that next break. Just like last night, as soon as I ended the stream,
Which one are those?
then I'm hearing, oh, person been detained. So then we instantly jump back on and start talking about the person being detained, go look into it, eventually end up all the way down there in Rio Rico to the south. Whatever happens with this case, every twist and turn we'll get to. But right now, it's like, where's
Kelly
going
Callahan.
on?
I did hear that
What-
also. They weren't sure who the person was, but they were
I mean,
making
some people are using the word
speculations.
cold case.
I'm not sure
It's turned into
who
a cold case.
identified the person as maybe female.
Cold case
And
meaning
again,
like
it could be
a couple
anyone.
weeks later, nobody really talks about it anymore, and they just put it in law enforcement's hands, and we just wait. Everyone just waits, not like be on the scene anymore and just report what comes out. You know, I don't know, because in reality, there's a kidnapper on the loose. Who is it? An 84-year-old woman. Is she dead? Is she alive?
Yeah, I guess go ahead. This is still not submitting. Yeah, we're 6 and then we're heading.
Jersey girl, thank you, Jersey girl.
Already?
Well, we'll be back
Getting
tomorrow.
rest tonight. Yes. There's so many people that commented.
So if you guys need anything,
Please interview Karen for our entertainment. Mason says. Cray Sky. Thank you. Hey, nice to see you. You're everywhere. That's that NBC guy. Yo, he's like some sort of NBC reporter. He pulls me in the side and goes, I wanna do a story on you when this is all done, okay? I'm like, huh? He's like, I want to do a story on you. So he's like very friendly with me. He was out on the front lines with me yesterday.
Hey,
going
Deborah
door to
Lacey.
door.
Yeah, they had K9 units out late last week. I don't recall over the weekend or early this week
You know what's crazy though?
in that search area. And I think they're
Insider
more
edition.
focused on the drones. I'll let Jonathan speak.
Insider
Sorry.
edition. Literally, when like they would have their camera guy and the reporter, and they would walk and then like follow the FBI agents. And as soon as the agents come out, he's like, okay, go live right now or do a report right now. He's like, this is so and so with Insider Edition, and here they come, the feds right here. The FBI walking out, and the FBI's up. Like he used them as a backdrop to start his story, you know. And he's like, stay tuned, you know, for more stuff. The FBI agents are coming out. I thought it was just, it's catchy, you know. It's slick. It's you know, but that's the way he's doing it. Like he waits till like there's like serious action, and then he does his report when it's happening, you know. FBI agents have been swarming the neighborhood. You see them right behind me here. Nah, it's interesting to see how media reports things, you know. I mean, some of them out here are grinding it, man. Some of them out here are pitching with tents and, you know, just sitting in chairs. And then other ones are like, literally like, they come and then they pull their car in. They come out, plant their tripod, do a 5-minute report, and then they tell their viewers, stay tuned to wall-to-wall coverage of this case. We're here at the scene. And then they just get in their car and they leave. Like, it's crazy. You know, they just do like a 5-minute report in front of the house and they leave. And they want their viewers to trust them with their coverage. Thank you, Georgia Peach. And then, you know, some of the media companies have a major operation. Like they literally have like camera crews and all types of equipment, and they
So you can see here, Chris Jenner, who's in the chat and also supplied me with this, her work on overlaying one of the band members with the ski mask photo that was able to be scraped, if you will, from the Nest camera that was broken. You can see this overlay from the ski mask to one of the band members. Again, we don't know if the FBI has done something along these lines with multiple suspects, if you will, or people of interest, but it does make you stop and think what actually, who is the actual person, right? Let's try this one. So here's a full headshot with the ski mask and the face overlay of one of the band members. Now that photo of the band member may have been from a while ago, and a ski mask is obviously relatively new. So you can see a lot of the overlay, facial size, the eyes, potentially the lips and nose. So I wanted to share that with you so you can see what we showed earlier. And I give Chris Jenner tons of credit for putting in the time and effort to do this type of investigation, if you will. And just to show you, she's identified the band member to the right. And again, I'll go back to the overlay. And again, we're not identifying him or saying that he is the person in the ski mask or anything along those lines. We're just doing our own from a community perspective, right? The public, just looking through our own mindsets and what we can pull together. Hopefully the FBI is doing something along these lines also and been reported to the FBI so that they are aware. And here's a map of the area of Tucson. Just north is the Catalina Foothills. You can see it's a very large area, and they are full of brush. There's mountainous areas. There's crevices. There's wild animals in the area. Yesterday, Jonathan filmed some javelinas, a family javelinas, as well as a coyote literally walking the street across from Nancy's house to across the street. So you know that they're in a woodsy area and a lot of natural life. Let me put him back up.
Good.
Hi. I'm Robert. I'm in. Nice to meet you. Pleasure.
What are you guys working on today? Just where we're at. Latest.
How about you guys? Anything?
Same thing. We ended up leaving before Carlos talked last night, so they went back to the neighborhood this morning.
Did they speak with him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
It's an interesting
Yeah, we're starting to
idea,
pull away from it because, you know,
Teresa, but I don't want anybody to do that and post it because it could become part of the investigation that is just going to lead law enforcement down a different path. Do you know what I mean? But it would be interesting to utilize someone's Nest camera and see what it looks like from their perspective.
Where's the pic of the mask found? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know where the pic of the mask found. There was a call that talking about the mask. Is it related? But that's another thing too. When things start coming out, people look. Next thing we know is somebody's gonna buy it.
We're leaving after the 6th.
Someone's gonna buy a backpack or find a similar backpack and say, put a backpack down the street here and say, oh look, a backpack's found.
Lori Kelly, it was brought up last week. Tommaso Cioni, which is the, I believe, husband for Annie Guthrie, the daughter of Nancy, who lives about 4 miles away from Nancy's home. They're in the North Tucson area.
I don't
And
think
he was in the band.
Carlos guy has any involvement in
And
this
that's where that
whatsoever.
photo originated from, with the 2 band members with
They
him.
let him go too quickly. He's not involved.
Chris stands by her comparison. The picture is 100% match for the eyes. Screenshot it and zoom in on each side. Ask AI if the images are the same person. Just a suggestion from Chris so that you can also look into it yourselves. To be honest, Chris, from my perspective, I do not know the names of the band members offhand. I did not research them. So your question about Dominic being the guy on the left,
The sun is going down.
I don't know. You're welcome, Lori. Bye, NTM. Thank you. So we're probably less than an hour away from
We can
dusk.
see.
Hey, Ziggy, what time is dusk?
Hello, everyone.
in Arizona?
Share what you have to say in the chat. I want to follow you, not another channel. Sam and cats. Oh, another deputy, another sheriff. What's going on here?
No, thank you. So the sun sets at 6:07 p.m. We are at about 6:10, and dusk will happen about an hour and a half afterwards, or around 7:30 Arizona time or Mountain Standard Time, as most people know it. But here in Arizona, we do not do daylight savings time. Never have. Probably never will.
Another car.
You can see how pretty bright it is, even with the sun going down behind the mountains. And as long as the weather keeps up, they'll be able to investigate, canvass, walk the perimeter, and expand the perimeter.
She brought him food.
And also keep in mind that the FBI has utilized digital billboards in Houston, for an example, to reach out to the bigger areas, other states, because you never know where the abductor or abductors have taken Nancy. Again, we're praying and hope beyond hope she's still alive and safe. She's an elderly woman, and she's 84 years old. She does have health issues, and they did not take her medication with her. One of the other factors that they determined was that her pacemaker dropped connection with her phone, which is still at the house, sometime in the early hours of February 1st.
People are saying Rico.
And her wallet, keys, and car are still at the house. So again, supports the fact that she left possibly, most
Driver has
likely,
been taking a gun
not
from
on her own
Rio
volition.
Rico.
Hey, Yankee Rose. Each day they find something new. Yesterday were the photographs that they were able to scrub off the broken nest camera from Nancy's front entrance. And today, a lot of investigation, maybe behind the scenes stuff going on, right?
Nothing. Media is reporting nothing on Rio Rico.
So as Jonathan just stated, nothing new has been coming up recently.
Send the neighbor Sue Ellen boots on the ground. Coffee for her troubles. MK 5608. I'll do that. I know what house she lives in. You want me to send her coffee? Yeah, she likes coffee too, doesn't she? Where is she? I'm gonna show her boots on the ground. Listen, I'll show you folks. Coming soon.
You okay? I'm checking your heart rate.
And hopefully you guys.
Oh no, I'm saying. Friday. 2 minutes to off.
You're welcome, Winkaroo.
Hopefully
Yankee
you
Rose,
guys,
I should say.
get some. But next week.
That's a
starting
good
soon,
point too, Yankee Rose.
Boot on the ground, coffee.
Well, it takes time because it was broken,
Boots on
so
the
they had
ground.
to really work hard with Google,
Giving boots on the ground,
the
coffee.
creators of Nest, and be able to find data somewhere because she did not pay for a subscription. So keep that in mind.
Boots on the ground. Little United States map. Boots on the ground. I'll send you guys a link. Hopefully, you get a cup and we can drink some coffee together while we do boots on the ground. Linda, thank you. Boots on the ground.
If Unseen Solar, I never heard that there was forced entry. I believe did not identify any forced entry. So that also indicates it's somebody that she may have known or someone has, how shall I say it, been there before in a welcoming format. So it's concerning in that respect.
Your counterpart.
She was being very nice.
No sauce?
She likes coffee. So my
Sorry, we're gonna go left.
Good point, Yvonne. But those batteries only last so long. And unless
Sue Ellen's
the
up there, I'm gonna go say, hey, I got something.
they keep
for you.
refilling it,
Boots on the ground.
my concern is that could the vendor that managed the pacemaker be able to locate it without her access to the phone? Do you see what I mean? Ah, okay. Here's a good tip. Thank you, Dan Minton. I appreciate it. Her pacemaker would just retain its settings. Those batteries can last up to 10 years. And keep in mind, there are 3 siblings that Nancy Guthrie, 3 children of Nancy Guthrie's. You have Savannah Guthrie, who's the co-host to the Today Show. Also, you have Annie Guthrie, who's married to Tomasco Cione, as well as their brother. They were all 3 on one of the family videos to reach out to the kidnappers or abductors,
Well, Mark Caribe all day today.
requesting them to return Nancy safely.
FBI agents scattered throughout Nancy's neighborhood in the Catalina Foothills, really just searching everywhere, looking for any clues that they might be able to find to help them solve this case. And to step out of the way, we just saw a new Pima County Sheriff's deputy pull up in just the last few minutes. Looks like it's a shift change here as we continue to monitor Nancy's home. But the investigators really are chasing down some leads. As this search expands, the sheriff's office says we can expect to see more law enforcement activity across the county. Take a look at this video. We followed along in the air and on the ground as agents broke off in smaller groups and went street by street looking for anything that might help their investigation. The Catalina Foothills neighborhood has a lot of hills and is covered in
Point taken, Loretta. Thank you for sharing that comment.
cacti and plants that they had to go through. The agents were paying extra close attention to those areas and at times moving the plants around to make sure nothing was missed. And I want to show you the video again that we got yesterday from Nancy's doorbell camera. It shows a person dressed in ski mask, gloves, a hoodie, light colored pants, and just walk up to Nancy's front door.
Thank you, Edward, for sharing.
Trying to block the lens, but we still got a good look at the person who possibly could be involved in her disappearance. The hope is that someone might recognize maybe a person's clothing or the way the person walks and help law enforcement identify them. The sheriff's department says they received nearly 2,000 calls since Nancy Guthrie disappeared on February 1st, and more than 4,000 of those calls have been made in the last 24 hours since the FBI recovered those images. So again, I want to remind you that there is a $50,000 reward being offered in this case for anyone who helps bring Nancy home or anyone who provides information that leads to an arrest in this case. Investigators really just want people to keep calling. So their number is 1-800-CALL-FBI. Live in Tucson, Gabriella Vaquera, 12 News.
No worries at all. We handled it. And something
I almost
happened.
choked there at the end.
Okay, we'll work on that package for you guys.
I'll tell you something crazy.
I
I found her. I went up to Sue Ellen. I offered Sue Ellen some coffee.
Okay.
She's not.
All right,
She's like,
Andrew. It was a pleasure as always.
she's up there in a cup drinking gin. She has a gin in a cup. She's drinking a gin and tonic or something. She's standing out there with a cup of gin in the street. And she really know what I'm talking about. She's like, I said, I'm gonna send you some coffee. Look, boots on the ground. She said, I have my favorite brand. I said, but I want to send you some coffee as a gift. Do you mind? Whatever. She's like, well, I like this kind and this kind. And I said, well, I'm just gonna do it as a gift for your troubles. Don't get mad if you get some coffee. She goes, okay, fine. And I said, what are you drinking? And she had a cup of gin. I said, is that alcohol? Because I started smelling alcohol. Like, oh my God, she's out there drinking gin in the street. Seriously. Let me see if I can get a picture. We got a cup. She called it a drink. It was gin and some red stuff. She's out there just hanging out with the drone people up at the top of the hill. She was happy, so I'm gonna send her some coffee. Gin. Neighbors coming out drinking gin, hanging out with the media. It was like cranberry or something. Yeah, it was like red gin and cranberry. She called it something. A certain drink. She caught it something. I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm sorry. The black glove, you tell me. Everybody wants to know. I think it's like 1.6 miles away, but I don't know where exactly the glove was found. Yeah. You're welcome. Be right back, Coach.
Yeah, there's a lot of quiet time in this because they're streaming the area, and if nothing activity is going on, it's kind of a waiting game to see if anything changes, as well as law enforcement or FBI. There's a potential for always a press conference going to occur at any time, so keep that all in mind. And also love your loved ones, right? We never want this to happen to anybody.
Hey guys, I got 857 Tucson with me. Morning. So he was out here today. He's out here each and every day, most of the time. And what happened today here at the home with the FBI? Like, what exactly did they search? Because I wasn't here. I was over there at Tommaso. So you were here. What did you see?
Well, basically, we were sitting here, and all of a sudden, let me turn this off.
You got the scanner on.
Yeah. It was the same thing like we saw yesterday. There was a team of FBI, and they literally were right next to Nancy's house. There's probably, how far is that?
Goes to the
200
road.
yards?
Yeah.
100 yards. And so they were searching all the way down the side of the yard. And hey, see you, Dolly. Shout out, Dolly. But it was so funny. They're not funny, crazy that it's so close. But they were literally crawling in the rocks, in between, and they went all the way down to the end of the road, and then they came back up. And when you came is kind of where they finished up.
So how quick was it? Quick? Like it looks like
it was
it
pretty quick. Yeah, I mean,
but why around here? Like why here? Like
I think it's just they have a grid, probably. What I'm thinking, and it's like this grid hasn't been. Has anyone been there? Oh no. Well, we need to go, and so I think they're just doing it. Seems a little odd. You know what I mean? If they're doing that, are they just searching for clues? Is it a distraction?
make it look like they're doing their job.
Yeah, I mean they gotta keep busy. But the thing is there's 4,000 tips that came in, so we could wake up tomorrow hoping, right?
Dropped a bunch of things. Huh. So yeah, I mean, so the FBI was here, did a brief search. We seen them on the road. Found a glove today. Do you know where they found the glove?
That's where I do not know. I just saw the photo.
What do you think of the glove? Legit
The
or
glove?
not? You think it's
That's where I'm wondering if why haven't they asked the media? Does anyone own any black gloves here so they know?
well, you know who else had black gloves?
Who?
The guy that was on this property here that went out and got the mail. Put them black gloves.
And so that's kind of where
You know where
We
else
don't
black
know.
gloves was shared? On the media yesterday, the whole world saw a guy with black gloves.
yeah. And
Who's to say that whoever journalist happened to be there to catch that photo went ahead of time and just whoop, threw a black glove down and then went there when the media.
And so is that what people are thinking, that someone put a black glove over, because it's like puffy kind of, right?
I mean, you got a week into this and no one saw a black glove before. You would think that's odd. You think,
Yeah, and that's why I don't know where they found it, but yeah, that's a good point. If it was found on her property, right, that would be a different thing. But if it was, think how many couple thousand people been through here, the last 11 days.
So the gentleman that got detained in Rio Rico, Carlos, what's your take on that? Do you think he's involved?
Man, after watching that interview right when you were right there, I mean, he seemed pretty, I believe him.
I believe him too.
I mean, I've had that reaction like, hey man, don't blame me.
If he was involved, they would have kept him. They wouldn't have let him go.
He wouldn't have been able, and they had proof of him being in Rio Rico Saturday night.
Yeah, he had an alibi he provided. His stepmom was defending him.
people have phones and stuff, so it wouldn't be hard to say, oh yeah,
Show
this
your
dude-
alibi right here. Here I am. Here's my digital footprint.
Yeah.
Boom, cleared. All right.
Look, he lost the bet, and he put a bet on. You can see he was at home.
You
know,
got
that
a lawsuit
night.
though.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt if something, happens out of that.
So
I was gonna say whoever's close to him should start a GoFundMe to get a new door. Just a GoFundMe Carlos door or something.
the GoFundMe Carlos door.
Someone, but has to be close to the family that does it for him.
So they busted the door, huh? How much does the door cost?
Well, they busted. He said they busted the garage in the back or something. It wasn't just the door. It was a couple doors and, but next thing you know, he'll have $1 million door or something.
So where do you think goes from here? Like, what do you think that's going to happen the next couple of days or tomorrow, or what's next? What do you think? What do you expect to see?
I think everybody's so emotionally invested that, and how many investigators are on the case, it's like they're not going to stop, and eventually, if we don't get any new leads, then they're going to have to release some more information, something more that they're holding tight to their,
Like a vehicle?
Like I said, how do we not have any cameras of a vehicle that was driving or something?
Even if it was a grainy photo.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is Chris Nanos hasn't really they should have.
Yeah, what about
shit? That should have been searched by the sheriffs already, all these areas. So at this point, you want to answer your question, I don't, like I said, those 4,000 tips that came in, I'm hoping JLR and 857. I'm hoping that one of those tips is like, oh, we got somebody. But
Yeah, I mean, I think one, they're gonna have to release something, or maybe they want the media to die off this, man. Maybe they just trying to see. I personally think they parked over there on the property opposed to the road here for a strategic reason, because if you're parked over there, less media might come out, because if there's police parked in the front, media is going to be coming seeing what that's about.
mm-hmm.
Even though everyone knows they're guarding the property, but if you put the car in, now it could also be for traffic, or it could be closer to the door so nobody goes and delivers pizzas.
Yeah,
or
right.
DoorDash.
The pizza thing came up.
But here's the thing about it. Here's what I went down to Oracle. Down there, there's a Walmart off of Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Big. I've seen many Pima County Sheriff deputies just hanging out, parked, and I'm thinking, where's your all hands on deck?
Oh no.
Like for instance, you have a missing 84-year-old woman. You got a lot of these deputies just at other places. Now I understand you got to patrol and do crime. There's crime and other things going on, but where's the oomph? Where's the urgency? Like you would see in a situation if somebody got kidnapped, you would have the entire police force out there doing it with more and more resources coming in. But
it comes with budget. All these counties have budgets. And if you're going to go, hey, we're going to dump all this budget. And so the reason why you're not seeing, and Chris Nams is like, you guys take it. Well, now he can spend the money on extra overtime. He's going to say, oh, hey, you federal government handle this. Not saying he's not doing things, because a lot of sheriff deputies, they're out doing things. But like you said, why aren't they doing more? I mean, this area right here, you're telling me nobody has searched this area right here until today?
So you saw them there today.
Oh no, they started the street. So
across
we're
the street
in
day 11,
and no one's even searched.
And now they're searching across the street for the first time.
So I mean, I don't want to,
The other day, a well or a septic tank. What is that? A septic tank over there? First time you're down there trying to see for the first time days later.
Yeah, I mean, that was at like day 8 or 9, and so there's I don't want to get politics, but there was a lot of at the beginning where it was like he called Mark Kelly She called Mark Kelly first. Mark Kelly is friends with Nanos in that same network. So, you know, the whole point is a lot of the things we don't know about how they're, you know, but we've seen other sheriff's departments work well with, like at the Brown. I thought that they worked well with the FBI. It was like a, so this is not like that. We're used to seeing the, you know, every day coming up. So a lot of that is, might be part of Nanos's personality and how he runs his office.
So it's starting to get dark out here. Another day, Nancy has not been found, folks, and you know, it's just a wait. We wait. This is a spot where everyone is just at. A lot of people that have been following this case or covering the case, the journalists, and whatnot. And we don't know what's going to happen here. We'll see each day. We'll see how many media comes tomorrow. We'll see if we can get more information or anything like that. Just spin the camera around. I got a 857. Oh, by the way, 857. Look what he brought me, and I'm very grateful for that. He brought me a Culver. Remember we said we're the favorite burgers, whatever like that. So Culver's is a Swiss burger. So pretty good here. These things are good. I don't know what it looks like on here, but it is delicious. Thank you for the burger. I told him when this is all done, I'm going to take him out to dinner, do a recap, sign of relief. Hopefully she's found safe out here. But favorite burgers, Culver's. We love Culver's. Neighbors?
Yeah, I personally have to give credit to law enforcement. They cannot just be sitting
Where are the
around,
search
right?
parties?
Things are occurring that we're just not aware of from this stream or any of the media because they are not part of the investigation, right? They're just reporting on the investigation. And you are only provided so much information that the public can receive without impeding the investigation. I hope that's taken in the vein that I mean it, right? I'm not mad. I'm just trying to explain what my perspective is on how an investigation occurs. And in this case, when you're dealing with an elderly person who was most likely abducted
You can't
from her
really
home, right?
blame
Early morning
the
hours.
neighbor when people are leaving.
It's an eerie feeling.
Trash on their property. Literally. Can't really blame the neighbor for being mad when people leave.
And it's also very
bottles
frustrating that people are leaving their trash around. That's just, it's so inappropriate.
Stuff up there too.
I think Yvonne made a good comment.
On
She
our
said some people don't have manners. It's not something that you should do. It's very easy to clean up after yourself, especially when you're out in nature like that. We're talking wild animals like coyotes, javelinas, baby javelinas, baby coyotes, baby cougars, bears. You never know, right? And they could follow up on something that was trash on the ground that could hurt them.
Yes, press 1
So
if you think
I would
she'll be
hope
found
that someone would go
alive.
through
Press 2
and
if you
everyone
don't.
would take that to
Seriously,
heed
we're having an
and
adult
clean up after
conversation.
themselves.
I mean, press 1 if you think she's going to be found alive. Press 2. Press 2 if you don't. Look, press 1 if you think she's going to be found alive. Press 2 if you don't. It's not looking good. I mean, and we're just, I know we don't mean to be offensive. You always want to give up hope, but look what we got.
Well, today I ran a poll on mine. Everybody thinks it's a hoax, the ransom.
I do too.
You know, so it's
do
like
too.
if the
There's
I
lots
think
of
the kidnapping
information out
was
there,
legit.
and different people have different opinions based on their experiences and what they've seen or heard.
got his life.
It's a sad state of affairs, right?
But I don't necessarily would say it's
Someone
classified
you love
kidnapping, but I think it was just
taken or-
lure out and
It-
do
I
something.
don't
bad.
even know how I would handle it.
For other reasons.
Personally, it'd be a real
That's
big
what
challenge for me.
that detective, he said.
And then you're also
MBS,
following the lead
psychopath.
based on law enforcement, FBI, folks that are involved with the investigation, giving you directions, suggestions, things along those lines. So it's a tough situation, very stressful, high anxiety, I'm sure.
I'm really personally with the belief that why this happened was for financial reasons.
It always comes back to money. It always comes back to money.
Financial reasons.
I mean, you figure like you said, I think the house is worth, how much you think? 750 mil almost, probably.
You can see also that the sheriff's vehicle's lights
You
are
don't know how much was in her bank account.
not just headlights, but extreme lights. And probably to keep folks away from the property
You
as
don't know
a
her net
whole
worth.
and monitor what's going on. Again, they may
You don't
also
know
go
beneficiaries.
back to search for more
You don't
evidence.
know
We
wills,
just
trusts,
don't know. I've
power of
never run a
attorney.
criminal investigation, so I don't know. But what I'm aware of through television, through friends, through conversation, and through chats like this, right? People
So
provide
a
me
lot
with
of you hear
information
someone-
details from their perspective, and it helps build my
I
understanding
hope it's
of
a
what
one.
could potentially be happening. Thank you, Linda. That is very kind of you, and I agree with you.
You know, there's
Say my
things
prayers
like,
every night. So this
remember some of the mine
specifically for
disasters and
Nancy's
collapse,
return.
building collapses and things, and people be pulled out a week later.
Yeah. And that's why just the hope for Nancy is kind of, if she was able to come home, that would be like, yesterday we almost thought she was at the hospital. You're at the hospital thinking she's there. You know what I mean? I mean, we've been on a roller coaster with this.
I'll do a quick check on that, Michael.
I literally was thinking in my head, oh, Nancy's at the hospital. And then we find out she's not even, it was some other 84-year-old.
Yeah, I know you typed the word peanut. I don't know if you meant
Starting to get dark out here, folks.
Even as of now, Nancy Guthrie has not been found. So that I'm aware of that anyone's reporting on that.
Well, we're just gonna have to call. Hey, check, Mike, check, two. Oh, sorry, it's not on me. Okay, now check, Mike, check, two.
Where do we go with all this?
That's a good point, Lori. Thank you so much. Yes, they can't tell us everything. They can't let the culprit or culprits know that
Just
you're
reached
into
over
that.
500,000 subs. Yes, very, very grateful for that, folks. We overnight we crossed 500,000, and I wasn't aware of that. And you guys brought that to my attention. I was very grateful and shocked for that. And we do what we do. So we do appreciate everyone that subscribed over the years. Navigate through the craziness, continue to cover, and that's what we do. So that's very grateful, humbled, grateful for that.
I can
And, we will
appreciate your
continue to grow.
comment, Lori. Definitely.
We are the
I just
future
hope beyond hope myself.
when it comes to these type of things, right? Getting to the scene and doing just lives, and the way we do things, and I have no doubt that we will grow strong over 1 million one day, keep on growing, and we'll keep grinding. We are a family here, all welcoming on the channel. We all might have different opinions, all come from different walks of life, come from everywhere, but we're all in this to see what's going on and what's going to happen.
You can see how quickly it's getting dark over there, right? They still have approximately 45 minutes before total darkness where night falls.
I might head over to Tommaso's, as soon as it gets a little bit darker, and then if nothing's jumping on there, I might get some much needed rest.
Ms. Reading Books, no, I had not heard that the medication was picked up, I assume from a pharmacy
But on standby.
the day of. No, I've not heard that.
John Dunn, always great to see you. Thank you. Yeah, we have the best chat.
believe
Chat's
we
going a
did
little
find
fast,
the
but that's
current
just because of this
medications
just
in the
huge
home.
case,
They searched it.
It's just huge. The chat's going, And I have the ability to slow it down, but not here in this position right now because not on studio. Plus, you know, we know how to police ourselves. We're good. You know, you can freely express yourself here, share your takes and whatnot. We welcome all opinions. We're all adults. Hopefully, we're all adults. But you know, if you're in your teenage years and you're watching and you know fascinated with true crime and what's going on, that's cool too. You know, welcome aboard. Wherever you might be.
I heard you're from Tampa. I didn't know what city.
I live in the Tampa area.
Did you ever hear of or ever met Bubba? Bubba the Love Sponge?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I used to watch him back.
So for all the new folks, I'm going to go ahead and let Jonathan speak to that gentleman while on site. But again, here's the map of the area. Catalina Foothills is approximately where Nancy's home's located, which is where JLR is, or Jonathan is streaming from. Here's a photo of Moscow Gioni, the husband of Annie Guthrie, the daughter of Nancy Guthrie, and members of his band that have disbanded from years ago, I believe. Here's Jonathan, give him credit where credit's due. He's been there almost 12-hour days since last week.
Turns back to
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
identify the person.
So here's the overlay that Chris Jenner put together. She just took a photo of one of the band members, the photo of the ski mask that was scrubbed off the Nest camera that was broken off the home of Nancy, and did a comparison and overlay, if you will. Remember those bright lights on the site on the ski mask is based on the camera, I believe, so it's reflective. And this one is another comparison where she's attempted to show motion and overlay, motion and overlay. So I want anybody new viewers to see that because again, we are just providing information and trying to learn what happened with Nancy and others. Because don't forget, there's a lot of missing children in the country and around the world. There are a lot of SA folks in the world, DV situations. But in this case, to locate whoever the persons are is very important so they don't do it again. We like to prevent folks from having to redo what they're doing, which is bad. So if you can, if anyone can help, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI, as well as the tips.fbi.gov, which is the tip site for the FBI. You can, I believe, anonymously leave a tip if you have any information or concerns. But like I stated earlier, you may not seen, they had received over 4,000 calls since the photos were released. So now they're going through that, each call and addressing all the concerns, questions, gathering information from the folks that dialed in, and also they have to now follow up on any tips they received.
A family member of the Guthries that were here. Family. Oh, are you talking about the people that came here and left?
No, it was just one guy. He was real quick. It was really like a whole bunch of people would have loved to get this interview, and I just happened to get up there.
Yeah, just put it to the side here, or here. You want to spin it around? Maybe you can see. Hold on, we got it right here. Maybe they can see it. If they can't see it, nah. Do it the other way. Here, like put it in front of the camera. Maybe that will work. Got volume?
know the Guthries, and
Start that.
just to walk. It's a strange feeling to walk down here, and we know the Guthries, and just to walk down here, to put this down here, get a little emotional. So
Starts crying.
it's not really. It's just unknown and not knowing what happened to Nancy. And my wife and her family grew up with Savannah and Annie, so they know the Guthries well. My mother-in-law was right over there, so it gets pretty close to home.
Yeah.
Pretty sad. Yeah. So that's all I really got to say. Thank you.
So he like knows them,
Yeah, his
but
wife.
not necessarily family, but he knows them.
Yeah, his wife, his mother-in-law, lives right here. He said,
Gotcha.
and then his wife grew up with it. So he can.
So just close. Like
Oh yeah, you know
close,
how
like
that
super
is.
close. How it is starting to get out here, folks. Yeah, he was crying.
Oh, he was definitely.
Look at it out here.
Yeah, I agree, Michael Lee. The band picture is really old, so it's difficult to compare it to today, what they look like today.
Oh, it gets dark out here fast.
It sure did,
More
Lori.
additional reports. Out here.
And keep in mind, if you're in a valley, the mountains will block the sun a lot quicker, so the light starts to diminish quicker than it should in a normal flatland area. Eddie, I really don't want to speculate. It's hard not to make a speculation, but I'm putting my trust in the investigation team and the folks on the ground there to find out what the evidence shows, and even the ransom notes that may or may not be real. It's concerning to me, right? That people would get involved with something like this
I'm gonna bring a chair.
for whatever their personal reasons are. So with that said, I'm going to end the stream here. It looks like we're probably wrapping up with Jonathan. I thank you all for attending. I really do appreciate it. I'll look into the double stream comments. I'm trying to see what that issue is. It's just hard to do online while I'm streaming. So thank you so much for joining, and I will talk to you again. See you tomorrow. Bye.